What's up, everybody? Austin Practical, Practical Elevate Performance, coming at you live for my daily live. Today was check-in day. It was a really good day. Got a lot of really awesome results from everybody this week for their check-ins. Today, I'm going to be talking about the best diet to reach your goals. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? So, it's kind of a trick question. It's actually kind of a trick title. So, in terms of what the best diet is to reach your goals, it's all dependent on you. What I mean by that is there's a lot of diets out there. There's a lot of diets. Fad diets, diets that have been around for decades. If you look back to like Atkins and low fat and blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of diets out there. There's a lot of diets. Lots of nutrition plans out there. But what they're all based around is being in a caloric deficit. Okay. And I know a lot of you are probably like, well, yeah, no duh, Austin, caloric deficit. But a lot of people, whenever you say caloric deficit, you know, you could tell somebody caloric deficit all damn day long, and that's not going to mean anything to them because that might not necessarily work for them. And what I mean by that is some people just don't like to track calories. Some people don't like to track macros. And that's okay because there's other options out there for people like, um, you know, low carb, there's keto, there's carnivore, there's, Atkins, like, there's a ton of other diets out there. You can be a vegetarian, you can be vegan, you can do all of these things. But the only reason any of these diets work is because you follow general rules or guidelines that by default typically put you in a caloric deficit. That's what it all comes down to. That's what it all comes down to. That's why you lose weight. It's energy balance. You, whoever's viewing this and watching this at this time, you right now at your height, weight, age, genetics, etc., have a specific amount of food that you can eat today and you will not gain any weight. You won't lose weight and you won't gain weight. You'll just maintain where you're at. Okay, those are your maintenance calories. If you go above that, energy balance, you're going to gain weight. You're in caloric surplus. Go below that, you're going to be a caloric deficit. You're going to lose weight. That is how it works. That is how all of these diets work. There's nothing magical about any of them. Okay, intermittent fasting, nothing magical about it. Whatever, like keto, nothing magical about it. Okay, but the reason I say all this stuff, and I just kind of give a little bit of a background on that, is because the best diet for you is the one that you can do sustainably. That's what it comes down to, is being able to do something sustainably. There's a reason why most people who do these drastic, crazy fucking diets gain all the weight back that they lost once they stop doing it. It's because it's not sustainable. What happens is you get burnt out. Like if you're doing keto or something, I have nothing specifically against keto. I just don't think it's the most sustainable thing for people in terms of long-term weight loss. Just because you can't go do stuff with your friends, family, oftentimes, or you miss out on a lot of good food that's out there because you're restricting yourself so much that you fall off, you quit, and then you gain all the weight back. And because you didn't actually learn how or why you lost that weight in the first place, it's really hard to maintain that, and then that's what happens. And so that's why I really like calorie tracking and macro like tracking and things like that, just because it's like I know it's in my food and I know what I'm putting into my body, and so therefore I'm in control. I'm literally just adjusting certain things here and there to get me to where I want to go as my body gives me signals and tells me what it needs and what it doesn't need based on how I progress through my program. And so that's why I like that. But um, not everybody likes that. We're all different. We've all been, raised differently to some extent, and some things work for people a lot better than others. Some people can do keto sustainably, and it works really great for them. But, for every like one person that keto works really great for, it sucks ass for like the other 10 people. So, same goes for a lot of other diets that are out there that are really, uh, restrictive or that cut out a food group or whatever, because it's not realistic to live that way for the rest of your life for 99% of the population. That's why I say that. So, when it comes down to it, like if you're going to, do something in terms of a diet, you should really, really, really try to find something that works for you sustainably. Just because you tried keto and you couldn't lose weight, or you lost weight and you gained it all back and it didn't work for you, doesn't mean that another option, in terms of the other diets, aren't going to work well for you. But the key is you want to do it sustainably. That's what the best diet is for anybody, okay? You need to freaking do it. You need to like if it's not sustainable for you, why are you doing it in the first place? Because you're not even going to reach you're either going to reach your goal and bounce back and maybe even gain more because you didn't learn how to do it in the first place, like why the weight dropped and why you lost it and how to maintain it, and therefore you're just going to gain it all back. So that's why I always say, like, like try different things. Give it your all when you do try it. See if it works for you. If you're like, oh, I could do this for the rest of my life, stick with it. Good deal. Like, I'm happy. Go for it. Do carnivore. You might have hemorrhoids, but like go ahead and do carnivore diet if it works for you and you feel great about it and you feel, like you have great energy levels on it. Some people excel in keto. Some people excel in, no fat. Well, not no fat, but you know what I mean. Or well, I mean, there's some people that probably could, but that's beside the point. Or like carnivore where you just eat fat and protein. Like it's one of those things where it's like, you got to figure out what works for you because everybody's different, but you got to make sure that it's sustainable because otherwise you're just going to gain it all back and you're back to square one basically. And you're probably going to be more stressed out than you were before because you're frustrated that it didn't work. So that's my advice today. That's why I really like If It Fits Your Macros or flexible dieting or macro coaching or however you want to look at it, like just because like, it helps create a foundational understanding of what you're actually eating, and what your body needs, and you get an understanding of nutrition, and it's all that good stuff. There's other options out there. I'm not saying that they don't work, but they don't work because they're magical. They work because you're in a caloric deficit because you're following rules, that by default generally put you in one. But then a lot of times you plateau because you don't know what you're actually doing. You're just following rules. And so that's why I say do some research, learn about, flexible dieting if it fits your macros, or just, find some good meal plan templates that you can follow that, work for you. Like, be flexible, try new things. And, if it doesn't work for you, move on to the next thing and try something else and see what works. But, having a plan is, first and foremost, the biggest part of doing it and making sure that's sustainable. That's my life for today. Hope you guys like this one. I'll see you tomorrow, 4 p.m. PST, like always. Later.